about you, but I can go the whole entire day without eating a meal, but I cannot go the whole entire day without having my sweets. And during this low carb, high fat journey way of eating, I found out that I can make all types of sweets, and I need to have them on hand when I'm craving them, or make them when I'm craving them. And this week I was craving Lin's Tarts cookie. I don't know if you've ever had them, but they're like full of fat, full of flour, full of sugar. But I managed to make something similar that's gluten-free, low carb, and full of flavor, and all real food. Look at these beauties. Now these are mixed berries. I want to make raspberry jam today, show you how to make that jam, and then show you how to make these wonderful cookies. So good to have with a cup of coffee or tea. And I believe they're only 1 net carb, and I'll show you how to make them now. In a non-stick pot, high to medium heat, you're gonna put your fresh or frozen berries. For the mixed berries, I used about 2 cups of frozen berries, but this time I couldn't find them frozen, so I chose to buy 6 ounces of fresh raspberries. And you want to cook them down until they bubble and let their juice out. To begin the juicing, I kind of like to mash them a little. Lower the heat if you have to. I add 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice. Reduce your heat to medium. I took 2 tablespoons of powdered erythritol, and of course you can reduce your erythritol or add more depending on how sweet you want it. Mix it in. Make sure you taste it. Keep it at medium heat. The raspberries are a bit tart than I expected, so I'm going to add 1 more tablespoon of the erythritol. See how it's drying up beautifully? That's exactly what you want. So now that it's drying up, I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of Fiber Yum. Mix it up. lower the heat. It smells so good. That's what you want. Let it dry a little more. My camera stopped filming, but I reduced it enough and took it off of the heat. Now I put it in a glass bowl and I'm going to put it in the fridge to cool while I make my cookie dough. This is a great jam to have in your fridge. You can put it in a little mason jar and use it on anything you wish to spread it on, or pancakes if you wish. It's delicious and it's sugar-free. So easy to make, right? So here are all the ingredients you will need for your cookie dough. First, you're going to have half a cup of almond flour, 1/4 cup of coconut flour, 1 tablespoon of shredded coconut. It adds some texture to the cookie. A 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. This is 1/3 cup of erythritol or whatever sweetener you wish to use. Just taste your batter. Depending on the flour you use, you may need more or less. Mix it well. Mix your egg with your 4 tablespoons of butter. So 4 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 large egg, half a teaspoon of vanilla. I do a heaping teaspoon because I love vanilla. And then I do a pinch of salt. Mix the wet with the dry. That's what you want, like a dry kind of a dough. I used a finer almond flour from my previous cookie batter, but I like this one, which is a little bit coarser because it's gonna add some texture to your cookie, and I think it's a nice contrast to have with the jam. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to get my hands dirty and make sure that it's all incorporated and kind of form it into a ball. That's the texture you want. And I'm going to put it into the fridge to chill for about 10 to 20 minutes. I just like to chill it before I form it. It keeps the dough nicer. Hi, so my dough has chilled and I'm going to ball it out, and it should yield 12 cookies, and this is how I do it. Your cookie's not gonna rise a lot. You have to compress them down. And I got this idea about using a wrapped can, a plastic wrapped can, to compress your cookies from Gail McLeod from lowcarbrecipe-ideas.com. She's fantastic. I'll link her below. So you're just gonna squash it down and form your cookie. See, just pat down the little cracked edges so it doesn't lose your jam when you put your jam on. So let's make sure that the cracks are kind of mended, so you have pretty cookies at the end. Now after you mend your cracks, then you're gonna thumbprint. So basically I do this. As you're making a little well, you're kind of repairing the cookie. Take your cool jam out of the fridge, and you're going to use 1/4 teaspoon to fill in your cookie thumbs or your cookie prints. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees and bake from 12 to 15 minutes. So my cookies are in the oven now, but I wanted to share with you that I've been experimenting with different types of ingredients that I have found other people use in their low carb diets or in their keto diets. One of them is Fiber Yum. If you are keto, then you must have seen Dr. Eric Berg discuss this on one of his videos. Him and his wife were making a maple syrup with the Fiber Yum. It's a prebiotic fiber. It is a sweetener, but it's not really that sweet. I don't think it's that sweet. However, it has 5 grams of soluble fiber per teaspoon. I don't have my glasses, but I think it says per teaspoon. 10 calories and 5 carbohydrates, but it has 5 fibers. So they kind of like zero out each other, so there's no net carbs for the Fiber Yum. I have been putting it into my baked goods, and I find that it gives my baked goods some moisture and some fluffiness. And so you know how gluten-free and low-carb baked goods, sometimes when you bake them they kind of like solidify and the next day they're a little hard. Well, if you put a little bit of Fiber Yum into your baked goods, the next day you can kind of reconstitute them in the microwave and they're fluffy again, and they're like if you bake them that same day. But yeah, so this is an ingredient that you don't have to use, but I used it in my jam because it's fiber. Hello, everybody needs fiber. And I believe that it holds and congeals the jam together so that it doesn't spread throughout the cookie. So just FYI, if your recipe calls for like honey and you don't want to use the carbs, I think this is another substitute for that. Check it out. You don't have to put it in though. Fiber Yum. The cookies are out of the oven and they're almost cooled. I'm trying to resist the temptation to taste them, but this is the one I made today. This is the raspberry jam, and this is the coarser grain almond flour from Trader Joe's, and this is the finer, actually very fine almond flour I used yesterday when I made the mixed berry jam cookies. So you can see there's a big difference, size and texture. Let me taste. Oh my god. Mmm. Mmm. These are crispier. I guess it's because of the texture of the almond flour. So coarser is better. Oh my god. Definitely crispier. Sorry. I'll put stats and ingredients below. Please try these cookies. They're amazing, and it just hits the spot on every level. Anyway, just wanted to share. Sharing is caring. A girl needs her sweets. Bye guys.